I'm Natalie Laster, and with me today is Miss Cranford, Miss Judy, Shayla, Ari, and Ashley. Marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and alcohol. Many of us have heard of people being addicted to each one of these. Addiction has become a significant problem in today's society. I have taken multiple psychology classes which have furthered my interest in addiction, of why it happens and how to control it. Drug addiction has become more prevalent and is now a problem, not only for each individual, but for our nation. Drug abuse and addiction brings up many difficulties such as mental illness, cognitive dysfunction, and violent behavior. According to Jeffrey Jergens in the 10 most common addictions, approximately 18 million people struggle with alcohol dependence, 4.2 million are addicted to marijuana, 1.8 million are addicted to painkillers, and approximately 821,000 people are addicted to cocaine. Drug abuse can raise the likelihood for an individual to develop mental illness. Substance abuse has been associated with suicidal thoughts and behavior. According to Dr. Christine Udelis and Richard Rice, in their review of addiction in the American Journal on Addictions, people who abuse alcohol are 10 times more likely to commit suicide than the general population. People who use drugs by injection are 14 times more likely to commit suicide. Dr. Udelis and Rice also say that people who eventually seek treatment for substance dependence come in with depressive symptoms and severe stressors such as relationship disputes, job loss, and financial problems, which are all potential effects of drug abuse. These stressors put them at a higher risk for suicidal behavior as well as cause them to delay getting treatment for their problems. In their review, they mentioned that Alec Roy had interviewed 527 opiate-dependent patients, and 29% of those patients had attempted suicide at least one time. Unfortunately, society has had an ongoing stigma regarding mental illness and their treatments. So the patients have to learn how to face the stigma in order to receive the right treatment before the suicidal thoughts become actions. We now know that drug addiction has been correlated with developing mental illness, so let's discuss the cognitive issues that can arise from the use of drugs. Hardcore drugs can lead to cognitive dysfunction, which results in inadequate care. According to Gilberto Manuel Galindo Aldana and his co-authors, in the article titled Drug Abuse Trends in Northwest Mexico, there's evidence suggesting that drug abuse has a direct impact on complex cognitive processes. Drugs obviously impair the minds of those while they are under the influence, but they can also cause long-term damage to the brain's frontal lobe, which is responsible for personality, problem-solving, and decision-making. Dr. Mark L. Cupersino and his associates say in their article titled Effects of Cognitive Impairment on Substance Abuse Treatment Attendance that cognitively impaired substance use disorder patients are less likely to attend all of their treatment sessions, which results in poor treatment processes and outcomes. With this being said, people who struggle with going to their appointments are more likely to have continued damage to their brains. Along with cognitive dysfunction, drug abuse can cause other issues for an individual, so let's take a look at how violent behavior is associated with drug addiction. Violence is a behavior change that has been linked multiple times with drug use, and as we all know, violence is never the best way to solve a problem. These spurs of violence relating to drug usage could be uprooted by the slightest inconvenience or used as a way to receive more recreational or illicit substances. Jeffrey Fagan says in his article titled Interactions Among Drugs, Alcohol, and Violence that there is some evidence that cocaine, barbiturates, and amphetamines have psychopharmacological properties that can motivate violence due to some causing short-term depression, paranoia, and irritability. Fagan also writes that alcohol and drug use are associated with more than half of all homicides and a disproportionate share of other violent events, including sexual assault, marital aggression, and serious assaults among strangers. With these occurrences being linked to drug usage, it is made apparent that there is a direct correlation of drugs or alcohol and violence. I have personally heard about times that drugs or alcohol cause a person to act out of character, including undergoing violent activities. Some have been just yelling, while others have resulted in death or prison due to their actions while under the influence. In conclusion, drug abuse and addiction can have the potential to cause multiple problems in one's life. Though I only highlighted 3 common issues that occur as a result of drug addiction, like an increased risk of mental illness, cognitive dysfunction, and violent behavior, There are many more problems that can arise from drug abuse, such as financial struggles, relationship conflicts, and other serious health issues. Thank you.